Hello, this is the start of the 35,000 Cope versus 35,000 Ross series that I spoke to you about in my previous video. So what you're going to be watching in this video is a series of setup procedures that I carried out to ensure that birds get a comfortable environment. After washing the bands, the next step in preparation for the next batch is disinfection. So once the bands are dry, water has drained out, the entire band is disinfected properly before the band is closed to enjoy its 14 days or 2 weeks downtime. So this greatly limits the chances of microorganisms that can cause diseases in the flock from moving from one flock to the other. After this 14 days downtime, the next most important step is disinfection of the water lines. The reason for this disinfection is because within these 14 days we may have biofumes and pathogenic activities of bacteria trying to multiply in the water lines. Remember, they were closed, the chicks were not in, and water has not been flowing. So this stagnant water needs to be flushed out and the lines properly disinfected. In order to achieve that, I have to prepare a disinfection solution, first reducing the water in the tanks and then putting an appropriate amount of the disinfectant into the water to prepare the solution. And the next step will be to have this solution run through the water lines to clean it, to disinfect it properly, and of course to ensure that clean potable water is running through safe lines into the bands. Lowering the water lines during flushing enables the water to flow freely through gravity or through static pressure, so the water moves freely. So after lowering the water lines, I have to connect them to the main pipe supplying the bands and then open up the water to get into the water lines. While at the other end of the water lines, I have to connect additional extensions to ensure that the water that is being flushed through the water lines goes out of the bands. At this point, let me take you outside to show you the quality of water I'm talking about. So you see how dirty it is. It has been in there for 14 days. There's been a lot of activity within, bacteria, biofumes and all the rest. This is not good for new chicks. Now once I see this foamy activity on the water, it tells me that the treatment is within the water lines. So I'm going to shut them and put them up and allow them to stay within for 2 days. While the treatment is in the water lines, I get my wood shavings. Whoop. Because I want my litter or bedding material on the floor dry, once I receive it, I put it into the bands as fast as possible, especially in wet seasons because wet litter is a no-no. So once in, the next step is to make sure that it is evenly distributed within the band. So this is completed. Let's move to the next step. Spreading the wood shavings to ensure that the entire floor is covered. So once I'm done with the wood shavings in a particular band, I proceed with another disinfection because I don't know the source of the wood shavings. It could carry microorganisms or pathogens that can cause disease or harm to my chicks. So I have to disinfect the entire band again, but this time with a fogger. 24 hours after disinfecting for the last time, it is now very safe for me to go in and start placing my feed lines. Placing supplementary feed lines enables chicks to get access to feed without stress. However, after the first week, they will get used to feeding on the main feed lines. But until then, I have to place supplementary feed lines using these papers so that they can feed comfortably. Also, the good thing about these papers is that after 1 week or 7 days, when they must have consumed all the feed, this paper will disintegrate. It will disappear into the litter. So this is one reason why I love using them. Now that I'm done with the paper, the next thing is to get the crumbles on them as soon as possible. For a start, I always prefer to place a few lines first so that I can use the machine, and later on I can finish with the wheelbarrow. Once everything is good, I get my main feed lines down and I mount the feeders on them so that I can have feed into the plates as well. These are the feeders that I'm mounting. Feed moves from the main silo into these feeders, and from these feeders it is distributed into the plates. The feeders have also got a sensor that is to prevent feed from spilling. Once I'm done with the feed lines, I go ahead to lower the water lines and I flush out the treatment that has been within the water lines, then rinse them.
So one day the chicks placement, you notice I have lowered the feed lines, the main feed lines, down to the level where my chicks can get access to feed. You also notice I have lowered the water lines down to 2 centimeters from the level. Also, I have my sensors all now down to knee level, and I have now the band properly heated. Heating should be done 2 days to chick placement. So this is the second day of heating this band. My scale is now down, and you have to move to scale down and calibrate it.
So, the chicks are finally here and their new home is ready. They left the incubators straight to the farm. They will be spending their first day in the farm. So that's how the brooding area is set up. I hope you enjoyed this video.
You